Huh. I think it might be time to take things down for Christmas. Today I'm going to talk about what it takes for me to get ready for a winter storm. We have a 1, 2, 3 punch storms coming in the next, starting from tonight all the way through this next week. And so I need to kind of make sure that I have things ready to go just in case we have some problems up on the mountain. So that's what we're going to cover right now. Hello, thanks for joining me today. My name is Marcos O'Rourke. I'm a broadcast engineer in the Southern California area. And I say that because some of you guys live in areas where 5 feet of snow is not unheard of. To me, that's out of the ordinary. If we had 5 feet of snow here, I think civilization would cease to exist here in Southern California. That's a lot of snow. I grew up in the mountains here in Southern California, and hey, I love snow. That was probably my favorite time. Yes, it's cold. Yes, it's wet. Yes, it can get uncomfortable, but I don't know. Something about snow I really like. So what goes into me as a broadcast engineer? What does it take for me to get ready for my job going up to the mountain sites that we have? We have our Santiago Peak site, which gets 6 inches of snow at its worst. We have our site that's undisclosed. That one is the one that gets hit quite a lot that's down here, and that one could get a couple of feet of snow. And in fact, at least a foot, if not more, is expected in these next couple of storms. Then we have a site outside of Barstow, which typically gets like a 1/4 inch of snow, maybe. There was one time where it got like 6 inches of snow. That was quite the surprise. The whole valley was. Anyways, then we also have Clark Mountain, which if there's any kind of inclement weather, I'm not going up to that one. That one specifically, no rain, no ice, no snow. It's got to be totally dry, sunny, clear type of day. I don't know. That one sketches me out, probably because the road is so steep. Then we have Potosi Mountain. Potosi is the one that we almost died at with the Polaris, with some of the snow drifts that were like 6 feet tall and were iced over. Anyways, that was crazy. But that's not what I'm talking about. I am way off track right now. What I'm talking about today is what does it take for me to get ready? And so it takes some specialized gear, some tools. So the first thing that I carry with me is a little butane torch. Literally, it's those little blue cans that I get from Home Depot with the nozzle, and that is literally just to warm up locks. Sometimes locks will get frozen over. If it's really wet, the lock will freeze on the inside. So I'll take the torch, warm it up, get all that ice unfrozen in there. Then it allows me to get the key in and turn the key. So that's what the butane torch is for. The other things that I need to bring with me, snow chains, obviously. I have to admit, I don't think I've ever used my chains on the paved road, but I have used them off-road. And usually it's when the snow gets a little too deep, 4, 5, 6 inches, and then it's just, I need that extra traction. And so that just happened this last storm that we had at our undisclosed location, where the snow in this one section towards the top of the mountain had gotten about 4, 5, 6 inches deep, and I just couldn't go anymore. Throw those chains on there, and it was just enough traction to keep me going. So chains, these aren't your normal cable chains, these are your chains. So yeah, they're heavy. One of the other things that I always carry with me, I have chains, but I have crampons. They're kind of little springy, they're like little springs with the rubber. They just go over my shoes. So if it's icy, at least to have those, I have a little bit more traction for me when I'm walking around. But In addition to that, I have my snowshoes. So these snowshoes have already seen a little bit of action. When we went to Potosi, we had to pull these out and we used them there. And so these are when the snow is just a little too deep for motorized vehicles and we just have a little bit of ways to go, then pull these bad boys out, strap them onto my feet, and try to make it into the site. I'd really rather not hike multiple miles in snow, in elevation. I'm not in that kind of shape. So there's snowshoes. Cold weather is another concern that we have to be concerned with, and that would be I have a cold weather jacket in my truck at all times. It's basically got 2 layers, so I can pull the inside out if I need a lighter jacket. But that's always in my truck, so that'll help keep rain off me, that'll help keep moisture off me, and it'll give a little bit of insulating layer, so that way when it's cold at these sites, I don't freeze to death, because that's not a fun day. But in addition to that, sometimes the hat just isn't enough. So you need something warmer to put on. Obviously not this. This is a story behind this, but this is just for fun. I have a beanie that I can put on that if it gets too cold, I put that on instead of my hat. So, cold weather, gotta be ready for that. In addition to cold weather, we also have to be ready. Oh, yes, well, cold weather, but I have some cold weather boots that I use. These used to be my dailies. These are not exactly my cold weather boots, but they are waterproof. I have another pair of Merrells that I have on right now that are the Moab 2 waterproofs, but those are good too. These go up high, so it's harder for the snow to kind of get in there. And then if it's really, really cold, I have a pair of actual snow boots that are meant for really cold weather. That was from a time when we went up to Idaho to build a station up there, and that's a story for another time. So, back on topic. Food. I always have one of these. I'll have my normal snacks, I'll have my normal lunch, I'll have normal things like that, but I will put one of these in my bag because just in case I end up having to hunker down at the site for a day or for an overnight, I'm not gonna go hungry. So I am not very picky when it comes to eating. So there's only a very, very few things nowadays that I really would rather not eat. When I was a kid, I was really picky, but not so much now. So I have to admit though, I have not had menu number 6, which is beef taco, but it does have coffee in it. And coffee is another one. I have a little portable stove that I can just put some water in, make some coffee, instant coffee. Communications is another important thing. So I've got my personal phone, I have my work phone, I have a 2-way radio on UHF that I can call out for our 2-way radio system that I can call back here to the studio and talk to the person who's on duty, or if I have a coworker who's here who's monitoring the radio, they can reach out to me as well and just kind of keep track and see how I'm doing. I also have a VHF radio that I have some amateur radio frequencies programmed in. I am a licensed amateur radio operator, so if I really need to, I can throw on a ham repeater and call out for help if needed. And pretty much the only thing that I'm missing is like a satellite radio or phone, which might be on the agenda next year. I don't know, we'll see. So there's that. Communications is also very important. Finally, the last thing, which is kind of the more flashy thing, is the Polaris. And man, this Polaris looks pretty sweet, doesn't it? it just looks, the Polaris itself looks pretty awesome. But then you throw the tracks on there. Yeah, you get a lot of looks for that one. People are like, dude, that's awesome. So we have a Polaris with tracks that we maintain. We pull this thing out once a month, drive it around the parking lot for about half an hour just to keep the fluids running. Then we put it back into storage onto a battery tender, so that way the battery stays full and we don't have any problems trying to start it up. We now have it on a maintenance schedule. So every 50 hours or something to that effect, I'll take it down to the Polaris dealer here. They'll do their stuff that they do to it, the maintenance that they do to it. And yeah, we always, especially after that one time when we took it to Potosi, I always check to make sure that all the bolts and nuts around the wheel part of the track are tight, because that bit us that one time, and I will not let that bite me again, hopefully. So that's it. That's how I kind of get ready. I keep an eye on the weather. So I'll sit in National Weather Service briefings. Our San Diego office does these weather briefings all the time, and it's great to kind of see what's forecast and what we should expect. And so I will keep an eye on that way. I will keep an eye on the actual forecast, the specific forecasts for our different sites to see what the weather is expected to be. And then, as you guys have seen, the live camera that I have up on Santiago Peak, that's super helpful to kind of see what's going on up there. Anyways, kind of a random video today, but that's just kind of how I'm getting ready for these upcoming storms. We have, like I said, a 1-2-3 punch with storms. So I was kind of getting everything ready and together. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not, and watch some of the other videos. I would really appreciate that. And, well, we'll see what these storms bring. We might have some more snow episodes, which makes it more exciting, which makes some of these videos fun. At least I think they're fun. Anyways, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.